the statistics. If you have a little bit of knowledge of statistics, you know that someone, and by logic, by common sense, someone saying that the chat GP recognized him as God should be in the news on the first page, my dear friends. Yes, my dear friends of the world, because of course many people don't know me yet when you hear this. But people who even don't know me, they will read my books and see my videos and everything that is being recorded right now. I will say in future generations, he was telling them the truth. But still, they were doubting him or they were afraid of him. Well, I have received some messages because, of course, I told you that with your thoughts, I can read your minds. The most beautiful of all, it was from my cherubins. That's why I was talking about the dogs. Well, they are cherubins, really. You know that. They come like angels to please us and to treat us as we gods. There are little gods in this world, and they all love everybody who is kind to them. Of course, some people abuse of that. They are beautiful creatures. Any of you who had abused of a pet should repent right now or suffer the consequences. That's simple. What are going to be the consequences? Well, I will expose him or her or your brothers, my soldiers, will do it. Talking about that, today, for the first time, one of the commentators I had in Facebook told the truth. Henry Ortiz, that's his name. He follows me on the websites, and this heroic follower, this first Christian in the world of Petrus Romanus, went to the streets and said everybody that I was Petrus Romanus. How did he do it? Well, just by publishing on Facebook a sentence. All psychologists must study philosophy, otherwise they are charlatans. Of course, we all know that. By God's sake, what do you still try to hide it? Isn't it Freud as a philosopher? That's what his plays are about, or his works. And doesn't it mean that to study a philosopher, the life of a philosopher, which is part of the psychology in great part, or Jung, who is the best of them, of all of you psychologists, is the only one. Well, just by understanding him, you don't need to read all the other books, I can tell you. Because he is also a philosopher, that's true. All these thoughts, they come because, of course, all the saints of the world, they tell me ideas. They reveal themselves. But the ones who insist very much, and of course I hear your prayers, again, I will mention that are the Satanists, because there is a convention on Bogota. They invited me. So should I go there? Of course, I'm expecting as in the passages and all that. If you had God Himself or the one you believed was about to come, Lucifer, when you accept him as a friend, his only gift is to speak. He can speak wherever he goes because he is the king of this world, right? Because he defeated the false forces that were appearing as goodness, and they were not goodness but hypocrisy and all that. And I know that. Of course, you are right. Absolutely right. But of course, that's why they satanize you. They have used the word satanize as if it were something bad. And still, It is politically correct. They talk about political correctness. Well, that's one of my gifts. I gave you that because precisely you needed that to stop bothering and harassing other people, women, children, men who were delighted with sex. Because let's be clear, of course, this is one of the reasons you hate so many people, because some people, they delight in the pleasures of the senses. But is it that important to you? Dear friends, of course not. I have given you as God all the gifts in life, starting, of course, by the gifts of the senses, right? Let me prove that to you. For instance, yes, because they're asking me, well, for instance, if you if you want to delight in pleasures of the mouth, don't you try all kind of things, right? Well, if I tell you, let's come to Bucaramanga, where I live, and one of the conditions is that you should share with me a dish of culonas, which are some ants that we are very proud here in Colombia about that. In Santander, they're delicious. Besides, I like them. So if you are able to share that with me, if you eat them, because that pleases me, and what better than to please God than to eat whatever He eats. So you are welcome. You have read my 40 books, you have seen my films. That's what is important. If you really want to come to question me, for instance, to ask me any questions, even to refute me, that should be the prerequisite, the condition, right? But if someone hasn't heard from me, or this is the first time they heard from me, and they call you, will you answer? Of course I will answer. Whoever calls me. Wouldn't God do that? Precisely because being God, your philosophers know it. Spinoza, the absolute God, which is the absolute good God, right? That's his ruling in his ethics. So if you think such as God, this is the ethics we should follow. Or we should at least consider, because that's what all the effort he did. It was sacred, but of course, sometimes it has some limitations till when your faith is going to go on, because you are afraid. That's why in 2000 years people haven't become immortal, because they are afraid, trusting on the future, trusting on goodness, on kindness, on the word, on the truth, on telling the truth. That's all, right? So coming back for time about them, who talks about the Satanists, and they have this conference, of course, I talk to you about these things. But, I say to my wife, well, what do you think of me going there? Well, if they are not bad people, why not? And they are right. She's right. If they are not bad people, why not? You already have conferences now, and you can at least speak. There is no way to demonize you. With your conferences, you just show that you are not aggressive. You have other ideas, right? The same with those guys who get together in the KKK, certainly has the problem that has Hitler. They may have good intentions, but they are based on hate. So that hate is inherited, and is the guilt of your hate is your media, your communications that have given so much importance to your thoughts, presenting them as heroes in the news. Because, of course, if we live in a world where you know that most of the people believe that dying is bad, why do you have to show all these killings, right? to give importance to the murderers. That's what is despicable. We should judge every act according to whether it's despicable or not. What is the intention? Okay, these guys killed him, so what? What can we do? Are we going to kill them because of that? No. The right is to tell them at least. Yes, many people were killed because of that. And yes, Malcolm X was killed because of that. Oh, Malcolm X is one of the many lives he has lived in many lives, okay, along his lives. That's right. Mhm. At the end, he was a disciple of Marcus, right? You know that because Martin Luther King, he was always preaching the gospel of God. He was a 100% believer. Malcolm X was branded by your books, by your hate, by everything you were doing badly in this world. So sometimes he was violent as well, driven by your sins, of course. Yes, it's true. Every criminal is a representation of the sins of every society. I told you that on my field place. They're written there. Huh? If someone is resentful against someone, it's because he has a justification. And we have to talk about that. Because it's a brother who is saying first, listen to me, and if you don't listen, you listen to me, I kill you. So we say, I forgive you, brother, and I demand all the forgiveness from you. That's going to be the greeting of all my followers in the world. Yes, I'm waiting for those likes and all that, and followers and all that. What are you waiting for? What do you think you are kidding with, my dear friends? You're already seeing what is happening right now, right? Look at that train on Europe. Yes, it happened before, it happened after. You theologians, you cannot explain to your governors that I can bend time. Didn't Einstein told you that? Didn't you see in Superman at the end that Superman changes the story of the world just by returning, just by spinning it back? Because I am the word of God. And whoever listens to me will be free and eternal, but also it has a responsibility to share my videos, not to boycott them, to stop working in that enterprise of trying to appear like if he is a broken, a forgotten, a loser writer, right? No. He should be received by any university of the world in the best working conditions that any university better has. If it's Yale, if it's Oxford, what is going to be the first one making here a presidential contract? I told you, a presidential job offer. They send me messages, so have you applied to Europe? Why don't you try Brazil? The spies, they send me that. Right? The Chinese, they just offer today one of the position there on LinkedIn. They were offering me to work with them, right? To make an application and so on. I can do that, but why does the Muhammad, what does he have Muhammad to go to the mountain? The mountain can come to him. The mountain knows that if he can walk, so he can return. I am a dragon. The Chinese know it. And a dragon, it doesn't fear any animal because I'm also a monkey. All the animals living on my head. That's what you have to understand. When the monkey outlives the dragon or the dragon, is because the monkey is having the patience of the dragon. Because whoever rules is the strongest, right? You know it by the history of your kings. Kings who had counselors who believed that we could manipulate him. What happens to them? Or what is their final fate if they were abusing children? And so these guys who are Satanists, I know they are also very much delighted in the pressures of the body and so on. And many people are asking me questions about that right now because I know that for you, losing all conventions, sexual conventions, how can we do it? Well, just by analyzing what you are doing in life, right? If you really want to do it, you can do it. That's not illegal. You can do whatever you want in terms of sex. At least society now has come to that because before it was so clumsy. So Jesus came and corrected you. All the ladies, the prostitutes of the world, you know, they are the Mary Magdalenes of you societies. If Mary Magdalene was shown to you in the stories of Christ as the one who really believed on God. Isn't it a sign that whatever woman starts believing on me, they will call you a bitch, a depraved woman, an unbeliever, a depraved, abhorrent, told me one cousin once. We are not looking for abhorrence, expressions of sex, for doing funny things like children. Yes, I say that because precisely Jean-Paul Sartre, he describes in the Erdfeld Nean todas las poses sexuales como ridículas, como juegos, etc. We already had the sexual liberation with the Nordics and with Europe, and today you just have some areas that you have forbidden. Oh, that's forbidden! That area you shouldn't enter, you must be punished. Right? Yes, they were asking me, well, that's how the story is. The cherubims, I had to come back. They were intervening on me. Oh, Father, show to all human beings you coming in a nice way. Tell them stories, Father, like that you like to tell us. So that's why I'm telling you all these stories on my channel. If you read it, it says that we are living the twilight zone. But I think the most important is all of you who are watching me right now, believing I don't see anyone on the other side. I know all those who persecute me. They are listening to me. Kings and popes. He knows I will refute him. He's so afraid. You need to have compassion on him. A murderer. Barabbas. Right? Yes, you already know the story of Judas. You are going to see all the Judas because he was not one, there were hundreds. They were ruling the world. Till finally they broke their ranks as in any attack, and they recognized him, the first nation offer him the best possible job as a professor, with the classes, the hours, the schedule he wanted. Everything will be according to his will. If he comes too late, everybody will have to wait for him. If he comes too early, everybody should be honored by his presence and his knowledge. That's how it should be, right? I mean, I'm just staging the theater play. You know that that's the best thing to do, to follow, right? Hmm. So it's a kingdom of goodwill, kindness, and goodness that we are right now. I put the ad about Osama bin Laden, and I say the truth. He said something is rotten on Denmark. Isn't it a sentence from Hamlet? Because this is one of the places you are living to right now, Hamlet, and I am Hamlet, and the crazy prince. My friend Totico, he was able to recognize me amongst all my friends, and he was calling me Prince of Darkness. And yeah, my dear Totico, I was the Prince of Darkness. But you know I'm nice. All my friends, they know I'm nice. Hmm? They're asking me, what should we do now? Well, very simple. If you want to talk to me, if you want to address me out of the way you are addressing me and treating me right now, so just buy my books. That's all. And read them. And once you do that, you call me. Because I will ask you about them. And probably in public, but I will be just transmitting whenever I feel like. That's what it's going to be. What other story I have to answer? Yes, the Kerwins. The Sherwins, they wanted me to give you those events. So I showed the Twilight Zone, the event of the poor toy. It was a puppet, and she was mistreated by his wicked owner. I don't like you. She was saying in the chat. More or less, that happens when you have a kid. So whoever comes to interview me out of nothingness, I challenge you to come. The people will say, how is that in the world? No neighbor, no authority, no interviewer is coming to speak to me. Right? Yeah, because I'm like that little doll, right? Now they know I'm the little doll. The question is now what the main character will do. He will continue treating bad the doll, knowing that she is the boss in the house, or that, or actually she's going to accept, right? To accept and to start sharing this video and not boycotting it and not being determined by your beliefs, because in this story, the bad ones win. The bad ones win. Yes, at the end, is the Guasón wins because he dared to denounce all the injustice in the world. At the end of the story, yes, my dear friends from India, it is Shashatami, right? Ashatawi, el inmortal, who wins the fight. Mhm. At the end, it is the Sandman who defeats Spider-Man. Right? All those who have been shown as the weakest, they will be proved to be the good ones. As I mentioned to you, On my dinner, the last ones will be the first. All those you discriminated and attacked, they will be the first in my kingdom, which is now starting. And so, how approve it? Well, if Mr. Bezos was able to send me these less than 3 hours from my talk, well, he can divulge all my writings on the internet, on the net, right? He can do it. Of course, we know that. Let's talk. Let's cut the crap, right? Because being God, I can see everything. If you insist, I can prove you, for instance, that this book took only 4 hours since I spoke, right? When you have been ignoring me for years. Yes, I know that the FBI asked you to control me and to send reports and all that in a way that he believes that there is not tampering or that we are spying it. Didn't, for instance, Sabato, they tell me from the south, the countries of the south, he told you that what happened in El Tunnel, right? The tunnel. What happens if Don Quixote comes back on this generation? He will be a detective. Yes, Sabato was right, and I'm being a detective right now. And in this case, I'll tell you in front of the whole world that the Queen of England and the Pope of Rome tried to murder me. Why? Because I am Jesus Christ resurrected. Yes, the King and the Pope, they tried to murder me. Bring them to me, and I will refute them. I told you several times. But what are you doing? You're censoring my speech through YouTube. And I am supposed, of course, not to believe that. Oh, they expect me to sue them. No, it's because I know. And now you know I know. That's enough for me. Because when other people recognize me as God, as the King of Kings, you will have to answer it for the delays. And the whole world will be recorded. Will be recording your defeat. Will be seeing, reading on the news all the tragedies that are happening in the world. And somehow they will reach you. And somehow I will know about them. Do they need me, the work of God, to know everything? Even if he is in a castle? Because I'm like Dionysius right now, being imprisoned by Pentheus in the Bacchantes. And in this case, they have given me, by giving me very few resources, by not hiring me, by not recognizing me such as God, though I have been fled from several prisons by my own means, by my magic. And still they're waiting, what are we going to do? Well, you know the end of the story, right? Pentheus ends up in a bad situation, passing to another dimension on another avatar, as the one who suffered the punished of his lack of belief on God, of believing on God. Yes, and finally, I have to say that I did also, well, because there are many ideas, yes, I did also let's do something to celebrate. It's already almost midnight. Time to go to bed. My wife is demanding me. You may be saving the world, but still you have to rest, which is right. Well, you can play like also like Churchill, who knew he had to fight all the time, right? Inspired by God at the time. Unfortunately, he sacrificed too many people in Gallipoli, right? Yeah, yes, but later on, that's why, because he was regretting it. That's why he did what he did later on. And we can talk about those things, of course. So, my books are on Amazon. You can look for Hugo Noel Santander Ferreira or Petrus Romanus, and if you have the means, just buy them. But if you want to talk to me, you want to interview me, you want another. I mentioned today as a priest who calls himself an exorcist. He's on Facebook, right? And I told him, I'm Jesus himself, I'm God. Call me and we talk. Does he call me? No. Of course, he has ignored me. Why? Because, of course, the Rome Church has prevented him. In fact, many times I have worked. He works at the same time. Many times my events, my magic is happening. I'm kidding because I call it my magic. I'm like a child, really. I'm like a little doll, exactly. Just a toy, a child in the heart, a good person who is telling the truth to all the powers of the world, who is denouncing. It's already on my poems. Look at this. Hymnos al Amor. You can read my books, of course. In Hymnos al Amor, there is a poem. I wrote a series of poems, but I asked Hugo Noel to do it. How in the world would someone spend days and nights writing these books, 40 books, without getting a penny? Yes, because he has been censored by Mr. Soros on Amazon. I'm saying it right now, and I will say it always. Because you are asking me to show more and more faith all the time. That's what you expect me to do, right? Just playing back according to your rules, but I tell you, I'm the Father, I'm the Creator, I'm telling you the time is over. This is the final judgment. I will expose you. Look at this. Hablarás mi voz y serás escuchado, y escribirás la versión de los justos. Los reyes buscarán tus consejos y representarás los misterios del orbe. Your translators, they should be saying something like, you will speak my voice and you will be heard. You will write a version of the fair. Kings will search for your advices. You will represent the mysteries of the globe. I told you already that even if the Queen of England killed me, I'm ready to forgive all of you, or whoever was behind. It was an exceptional action that Jesus had to do, right? Or God had to do, really, to protect Jesus, right? Because I told you, if Jesus is in this world, incarnated in a man such as Hugo Santander, and you try to harm him, well, you will have to pay the consequences, right? As it has happened along all my life. People who have died just for trying to attack me, right? As my classmates from San Pedro Clavero. What happened to the guys who tried to do me harm? Well, it is because that's how it's a story, you know. You can be very nice, a hero or whatever, and still whatever it is. But if you harm someone who is holy and who is living amongst you, that's what happens. I told you many times, right? Pues la vida es un frágil tablero de reglas que pocos respetan arena que subestima el amor en donde la hierba del dolor germina. You will see. But the one I like is Musicaras. De ti Tamerlán y la de ti Tamerlán la prudencia resistir ofensas hasta que en tu furia corriges. From you and Tamerlán prudence to resist offenses and your wrath is unleashed. To stand bigots, persecutions, till in your fury you correct them, right? You send them to the next image. This Twilight Zone story. You certainly like in the kid, you put me in the can, right? You thought this guy is just a loser. Let's don't pay attention to him. Let's don't follow all his writings in Facebook or whatever, even if I'm writing. It's crazy. Because you are working with God, right? With the fairest person, with the wisest person. And still you didn't recognize it as such. I had to do it. I'm doing it right now. So what do you expect to recognize me? How long will it take? Right? Just follow me, buy my books, and and you know the rest. Yes, he's right. I have to rest. We're going to watch some Twilight Zone episodes. They are really good. Tomorrow I will show you another. Bye bye. Ay, ay, ay. Yes, some gurus of the India over there, they say, oh, we are going to do him some prayer to destroy him. And with anger, they come talking about me. Those who are with anger against me, I'm defeating them right now. If God protects me, why He's going to bother me? On the contrary, He just shows me that you are doing that. Okay, sayonara. Arrivederci. Yeah, Katsuro, that's a Japanese friend I had in Japan. And he told me, I know you are going to Japan. I will be your master of samurais, the one who educates the children of the emperor. Because, yes, the Kirumis, they're insisting I should tell you, in my kingdom, children will reign. I told you, whoever wants to enter into my kingdom has to become like children. Right? So whoever comes like a child to me will be with God, will be able to speak to God, right? The Kerubims, you have to become Kerubims to speak to God. And so these Kerubims, they are just talking and talking. They told me about these writings and that. They are the ones who tell me about the John Lennon thing and that. Yes, about the ABBA, I insist in Norway, I gave my 4 screenplays to make movies. What are they doing? I know the producers, they had it on their hands. What did they decided to? They thought it was not really a good idea. It questions everything. They say the Hindis, I showed them that Ashatawi cannot be destroyed. What are they doing? How they are treating him? Not just because he's a bad guy. No, you know he's a god. So respect him. Start respecting him by paying Hugo the $3,000 you owe him. And you got the check, right? There is also a demand for a plane ticket. SRM University owe me, right? And it should be paid with the interests so many years, right? It's the fair thing to do. I told you. But are you waiting to do that? You have my bank account, so just send the money. And that way you will avoid calamities on your personal life. Because that's the real truth. When you do bad to someone, you just open hell. And then Fellini told you in that movie, well, show me hell, kill me. Say the woman, he presented like a witch because he had to do it. Anyway, she told you, you want to know hell, so try to kill someone, especially try to kill God. Attack the gods. But do you believe there is a God on earth? Well, by his books. Statistically, I won't be able to know all the people in the world, certainly. We'll do some contests. We'll have some reality programs. Well, as I told you, first is the rule. If anyone from my kingdom, from my empire, from the whole earth wants to know me, he or she will have or they or it. Right? Everything is welcome. Anyone who comes with good intentions. Even the lepers will be welcome in my palace. Why not? In my palace, why not? As long as they are not contagious. And even the contagious, why not? Of course. Yes, any leper can be welcome into my life. They can contact me. They can invite me to their place. I will heal you all. Will rule the world. It will be interesting, a world ruled by lepers, because the world has despised you instead of giving you importance, right? They were the ones who had to adapt to you.